Okay, welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show, where I share my real P&L on 4 accounts and share my proprietary safe wheel strategy for free. So what's going on today? This is what my account looks like here with my earnings edge. Also, I do want to verify that my audio is working okay. Let me know in the comments that my audio is working okay. Be sure to post any questions you have. You might have questions for me. Sometimes they kind of run off at the end of the broadcast. Make sure you get those in early. And also you can see, the market's down a little bit today. SPY is down $9, down 1.5%. Let's see how that affects my my P&L, right? Let's see how that does. To me, it doesn't really have much of an effect, but I'll show you that now. Let's see here. Ian says the sound is good. I appreciate that. Thank you for the feedback. I'm glad that everything is working okay. Good. Let's talk about the earnings edge. What happened last week with the earnings edge? There was nothing that fit through the filters. What happens is when there's not a lot of trade or stocks or companies going through earnings, there's slim pickings, and sometimes there aren't any companies that actually fit through the filters. And if they don't fit through the filters, I'm not going to trade it, right? I'm not going to try to go find trades or try to force any trades. So that's what's happened. That's what happened with the earnings edge, basically. Let's look at the spreadsheet. And what's SPY trading? 585.50. And I could put that in here, 585. So it's down a little bit from last week, 585.50. And you can see how the earnings edge has done over time in 2022, vastly outperformed 2023, underperformed a little bit, and then underperforming quite a bit in 2024. Not going to catch up here in 2024. So you can see that the earnings edge is up 28% since 2022, and the market's up about 23.27% approximately since 2024. So outperforming the market just a little bit, but on a risk-adjusted basis, not outperforming the market for sure. The earnings edge does have a lot more risk than buy and hold. This is my only higher risk strategy that I have. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening with the PL5 Pro. So let's see what account that one would be. That's going to be the 527. So let me get into there. This account here, you see my net lick. Okay, 468.509. 468.509. Okay, so it was 462.797. Now it's 468.509. So what, about maybe $5,000 this week, even with whatever's happening this week. Today's a pretty decent down day. We've had a few down days, and you can see where the PL5 Pro is not negatively affected. In fact, it's making money in this environment. And you can see that I started this on July 19th, 2024 is when I started the Premier Level 5 Pro. I'm up $64,602. I'm up almost 16%, 15.99%. The S&P 500 from that exact day, July 19th, is up 6.65%. So you can see I'm almost 3 times the return with the PL5 Pro than the market. The market's up 6.65%. That's not too bad actually, but the PL5 Pro outperforming there, and I'm up $64,000 since July 19, 2024. So PL5 Pro doing as expected, and maybe even a little better than expected over this time frame. But done quite well, up $64,000. Okay, let's talk about the Premier Level 5 Pro S&P 500 variant. Okay, so this one's more closely connected to the S&P 500. So it's probably down today. I'll show you my account. I can't show you the whole screen because it'll show you my account number, unfortunately. But you can see here that my account with my PL5 Pro S&P 500 variant is at $33,066. It's my IB account. $33,066 is actually up from last week from $32,452. So I'm actually up 33,066. It looks like. Let's see. Yeah. So started this account on July 16th, about 3 days before I started the other one. Started with $30,000 up to $33,066, about $3,066, up 10.2% since the middle of July. The S&P 500 on that exact day started at 5.63. The SPY now it's at 5.85. So the S&P is up 3.94% from July 16, 2024. So 10.2% versus 3.94%. So I'm outperforming nicely, and that's what I expect. You can see the PL5 Pro by itself is outperforming the S&P 500 variant at this point, right? That's 15.99% versus 10.22%. But the variant's outperforming the S&P, and that is the goal of the variant. It is specifically tracked to outperform the S&P 500. So the S&P might be down, and the PL5 Pro S&P 500 variant might be down also, but it will be down less, according to backtest and now forward tests. So there you have it for the Premier Level 5 Pro S&P 500 variant. Let's talk about the Safe Wheel. Let's go into the Safe Wheel account. Which one is this one? Here. Let's see where is this. Okay, no, that's not Safe Wheel account. Here it is. I'm trading LI. I had 100 shares last week, and those got called away at the end of the week. I believe they were at 24.50. Right now we're trading at 24.41 LI, but it was above 24.50 last week. I got called away from those shares, so I made money on those shares. Collected, I think I made $50 on the shares, and then I also collected the premium around those shares. And now I'm left with my hedges, my long call that I put on last week at the 29.50 strike. I'm long at the 29.50, and I have my $20 put. I have 3 of those with 172 days left. So what are the questions? First of all, the questions are, is my put hedge in line? So first question is, do I own 200 shares, and do I need to cash out on this thing? And the answer is no, I don't own 200 shares, so I don't need to cash out. Second question, am I 100 days or less? No, I'm 172, so I'm not getting back, too much depreciation. And then the third is this $20 put strike within 70% of 24.40, which I'm pretty positive it is, but I can run the number. So let's see where it's living here. So 20 divided by 24.35, 24.35. It's at 82%, so no problem there. It's within 70%. So the put hedge is looking good. I have my long call from last Friday. That's fine. I paid $6 for it. It's currently worth 63 cents. Well, it's actually looks like it's up in value, which is good. So my hedges are in place. I don't own any shares, so I'm not going to try to sell a covered call. Now that my hedges are in place, I'm going to run the traditional wheel at this point. I'm going to sell a put. So let's see what I can get for that put. Now, let's go to the trade tab. Make sure I'm on LI, right? Yeah. So LI, and I'm going to look in the near term, something that expires in 4 days on Friday. I'm looking at puts. I want to be out of the money right now. We're trading at 24.38, so 24 is out of the money. 24.50 is in the money, and I want to get at least 24 cents. I could possibly go to the 23.50. I'm not quite getting enough premium. I want to get at least 24 cents. I'd probably get about 22 cents. I could technically do that, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the 24 strike here, and I'm going to sell one of those. So let's see, I'm going to get 39 cents maybe, or $39 for selling this put. I'm going to do one of those because, as you know, the between $5,000 and $10,000, I'll do one of these and 3 put hedges. Looks like the mid price went up a little bit, so maybe I can get a little more. So let's sell this. Okay, that filled. So here I'm trading this account live in front of you. I've traded every single trade live in front of you, except for the long calls that I buy for $5 or $6 on Fridays. I don't do that live in front of you, but I've done every other trade live here on YouTube for this particular account, and you can see what I just did there. Sold a put at the $24 strike. Maybe I'll get assigned, maybe I won't, but I do have a hedge in place. So that is the trade for the safe wheel. How's the safe wheel doing? Let's take a look at the value, 54.80. Okay, so it's worth 54.80. Let's see if I can get this spreadsheet over here. 54.80. So it's up $80 from last week. 54.80, and you can see that it's underperforming this year. Let's say 585, right? So here it vastly outperformed by 40% in 2022. Then 2023 underperformed, and then 2024 it's underperformed. We've had a pretty significant bull run from the beginning of 2023 to 2024. Market's probably up around almost 50%, so it's difficult to outperform there. But you can see since the beginning, up 9.6%, S&P 500 up 23.27% since the beginning of 2022. So you can see that the safe wheel is currently underperforming in this environment here, down 14.55% this year. Other people might have different results. The results of the safe wheel can vary quite a bit depending on what underlying you pick and what kind of strike prices you pick. It can be a little bit of a variant there. Also, we only get about half the drawdowns of the S&P. So you could technically, on a risk-adjusted basis, double this 9.6 number and it'd be around 18%. So it's still underperforming, but not quite as bad as, nominally. Okay, so that is the safe wheel, and that's what's going on with the safe wheel. You can see here, I'm going to save this thing for next week. All right, let's see if there's any questions or comments. Will says, have a great rest of the year. And a new one and a good one. So yes, well, you and everyone else have a great new year. I appreciate that, Will. And we're going to be coming into that, Tuesday night is the last, and then Wednesday will be the first. So we're coming at the end of 2024. 2024 was a very interesting year. It was very much a bullish year, but then we had a couple of volatility spikes, especially August 5th, 2024. That really was interesting how it boosts the PL5 and PL5 Pro. It just put it on the map there. It was the PL5 itself wasn't doing quite as well, struggling just a little bit. It wasn't down much, down maybe a little bit, but then when August 5th came, bam, it just like recovered and everything came in line. So you get that that bull run where there's no volatility, but all of a sudden that huge spike, and the PL5 does quite well. Or I can start calling it the PL5 Pro Lite, right? That's basically what it is, the PL5 Pro Lite. That's what I'm going to be launching here in January, and it's specifically for people that have between $40,000 and $100,000. If you have over $100,000, I recommend the PL5 Pro. But if you have between $40,000 and $100,000, the PL5 Pro Lite is specific for you. So that's what I'm going to launch in January. Will, can you give any highlights of what your plans are for the channel in the coming year and any reflections on the past year? I don't have any major changes planned for the channel. I'm going to continue to share my P&L on 4 of my accounts. One thing is interesting, though. The Earnings Edge might have a major tweak coming up. We've done some major back tests, and we've found some tweaks that we might be able to make. The Earnings Edge struggled quite a bit this year. And so whenever we struggle for a while, we look in more detail of what can we do to fix that, right? And we've done quite a few back tests, and we do have something that looks promising that would be another major change. We made one of those in October, I think, of 2022, where I tweaked the Earnings Edge one time, and I might make another tweak coming up in 2025. So that is kind of the major thing now. As far as the channel, it's not going to change too much. I'm still going to continue to share my P&L every week and show you how my systems are doing. And Will says, how is the status on the duck trade? Well, the duck trade is doing pretty well. It's making a little bit of money. It's not up a lot. I'd have to look at it. I don't have uh, an account dedicated to the duck anymore. I have someone who I have someone that I work with who basically kind of collaborates with me, who runs the duck, and he developed it and he's running it in his account. So I have to check with him. But I did talk to him maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, specifically about the duck, and he said that it's doing well. It's just kind of up a little bit, but not like significantly high and not too low. So we're waiting. He said he's kind of in limbo. He's got a trade that's been on for a few months, and he's still waiting for it to hit profit target. Well, put premium looking good as the stock is currently dropping. Yeah, you can see it's down what, 4.5%. Normally, if you're running the wheel strategy and you own shares, you're getting hurt pretty bad, or are down 4.5%. You're probably hurting pretty bad with the safe wheel. You're not as bad. Look at, you can see, well, the P&L opens down $97 on my hedge. But you can see that LI, let's look at LI. What is LI doing? LI, so I'm still down $463 on the year on LI. So that's not because of this latest trade that I've been making with LI, but it was before that. So you can see DraftKings was my winner for the year, up $541. And you can see JD down 178, pins down 676. So most of the trades are underlyings that I traded this year. All 4 of them, 3 out of 4 were not winners, and one of them was a winner. Just depends on what underlying you pick and what strikes you're trading. There's a lot of variables with this safe wheel, as opposed to the PL5 or the PL5 Pro Lite that I'm specifically talking about. It's very duplicatable. I mean, pretty much almost everyone's probably going to get very, very similar results, as opposed to the safe wheel. You can get a lot of different results. Different traders get different results. So it's a little bit different. And Avery's here. And Avery says, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it if you did hit the like button. What that does, if you hit the like button, is it gives me more exposure, and giving me more exposure, which will help my cause, which is to get the instructors who share, who make promises. I want them to share their actual P&L, right? So if you're going to make a promise, you should share your P&L. If you believe in that philosophy, then hit the like button. I appreciate that. And I think other people would appreciate that too, that believe in that philosophy. Okay, and Will says, see you next year. Yes, I will see all of you guys next year. And I appreciate everyone that comes to my live streams and makes comments and watch my videos and comes to my channel. I appreciate everyone. And 2024 was a great year. 2025 is going to be better. So in parting, what I like to say is, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? I will see you next year.